now, I see that you didn't like what was said and you feel that your integrity was in question. So from last Monday up to now, has there been that much change? Is Pete Ariando fired already, or is he still on administrative leave? You might tell me, well, that's on the agenda. But you demand that we respect you. Well, who am I? The Bible says that John the Baptist was the voice of one crying in the wilderness. I'm the voice of one crying in Uvalde. Yesterday, we met with people there in our church, and I heard testimony of people how their children are traumatized. They sleep with their parents. They do not want to go to school. But yet, you don't want your integrity insulted. And the three failures. Number one was the school administration. You guys failed. But yet you're demanding that we give you the integrity, do your name. So what has changed from last Monday to now for the families?
We have set some meetings. They have been canceled due to legal requirements. So we are following the guidance of our attorneys and will continue to do so.
All right. I just gotten befriend some families that are not here today that are really hurting, Dr. Harrell, members of the board. They're hurting. One yesterday had a complete breakdown. Complete breakdown. People that want answers. They're demanding answers. And this is what I am. I'm a voice. I had one of the family members tell me, sometimes I don't know what to say or how to say it. I told him, mijo, whatever you want to say, when you can't say it, just let me know. I'll be glad to be a voice for you. And that's what I want to be, a voice. Because these children are still hurting, Dr. Harold. These families are still hurting, and they want answers. They want answers. And to all the families, if you need legal representation, we're having a meeting at our church. We had one yesterday. We're here to help you. But Dr. Harold, these families are hurting. They're hurting right now. They want answers right now. And to say that, don't insult my integrity and don't be negative, show us something positive. Give us positive. The last meeting that we had, some of you said not a word. Not a word. I even pointed my finger towards the DPS. McCall is not man enough to come and say, we dropped the ball, we failed you. One of you guys say, we failed you. Or they're going to be like Uvalde PD. One police officer told me, if I speak, I go to jail. Now, I know you can't answer for that, but that's what it takes. But give the people some answers. Give them some answers. That's all we're asking for. That's all I'm asking for. Give us answers. Talk to us. Talk to us. Don't just look at us. Look at the pictures. Look at the pictures. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. Next, I have Mr. Jesse Riesel.
I'm ridiculous. I decided to stream this here because I hate watching it
I had asked for Annabelle White and JJ Suarez.
and watching the stupid
And
comments and
after
other
the meeting,
things.
we went out to eat, and so we're having dinner. Somebody reached over and said, "Hey, you wanted to know where Annabelle was at, where she is." It bothered me a lot. I hope I'm wrong, Annabelle. I hope the post was from a previous time or something like that. But you went on and you posted a picture of your husband and your children. Current picture along with the picture when they were, when they were kids at UT.
I gotta go shut my fan off. I can't hear.
And you said, I look around,
Hey,
I look
Salem.
around, and I know how lucky I am to be alive right now. My high school sweetheart, look at our girls, so thankful for this life, so grateful for him, them, and all our family. We're so lucky. And it is you, Annabelle. The people that came out here that day, they poured their hearts out. They wanted for you to be here. I don't know if it was something that was pre-planned or anything that you couldn't have changed, or you could have called, rescheduled, or maybe have your husband go out there and with your children. But I found that is totally unacceptable. When you went out and you asked for votes for the people, I think that they would have expected you to be here that day. Maybe gone back to Austin the following day. I'm not sure, but something like that, you got to reflect and look back and grow from it and say, is this something that if I'm committed to the people? And like I said, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but that's a post. I verified it with different people. I actually forwarded that information to, to the staff who forwarded that information to Dr. Harrell. I explained to him it doesn't sit well. If you'd like, I'll give you in a minute an opportunity to.
I understand your opinion. I get where you're coming from, but that was my daughter's orientation. That was Parents' Day. And there was only one left. That was the last one for her particular college. It's something that she had worked for. The previous month, I had canceled our family vacation to be here, and I completely understand, but I did watch the whole video of the meeting afterwards. I've only missed two other ones into other meetings, and one was because I was post-surgery from a pretty massive leg injury, and the other one was for a regional competition that my other child had. And I have served for 5 years, so I am committed to my place on this board.
Thank you for answering it. Well,
Sure.
I would encourage you that when something like this happens, we asked and everybody kind of shrugged their shoulders.
They can't answer for me. They can only answer for policy, but on something personal in my life like that, they cannot answer.
Thanks for the clarification.
Sure.
JJ, I asked for you as well on the previous meeting, and JJ, as we're having the meeting, JJ reached out to us through Messenger. And today, JJ and I had a lengthy conversation. Some things I don't agree with. I gave him some honest feedback. Something that he's gonna have to carry. And I would encourage you to reprioritize something. I understand you were with the Astros, representing Uvalde. It's a big deal, JJ. I totally get it, but I don't think that it compares in the magnitude that these kids aren't here anymore. You see the pictures here; they can't speak anymore. But we're here for them, though, and that's just honest feedback on it. Seems like we're back at it again. We're discussing Mr. Arredondo. His termination is going to be terminated. What type of termination is going to be? Somewhere where he's dishonorably discharged? Is it going to be some kind of buyout? It's like the same thing. It just seems that everything that's been shown up here, it's just a reactionary, just simple, just instead of being proactive. You've known about this. You know how we felt about this. I understand procedure. I understand protocol. I totally get it, but don't hesitate. And my words of advice is don't run the same play that you ran with Pete. As a board, hold each other accountable. Tell Dr. Harrell, whoever's making the calls up there, and your attorney, they're not always right just because they have the law degree. Let them know what it's like. Let them know these are the people, and I'm going to get out there and meet with the community. And as soon as you start making a decision, like the gentleman said earlier, start communicating that message. Get out in front of the cameras, whatever you got to do, take the hits. But earlier we got word that Mandy, the principal, had been either placed on administrative leave. She had resigned. The rumors are flying around. It is what it is. If it's already taken place, just say it. You've already made a decision. Don't run the same play like you did with Pete, because it doesn't end well. Keeps on going and you're going to drag it out. The rest of the police department that are still on payroll, I don't see how you could expect the families to have the same trust, the lack thereof, go drop off the kids at school, and the same guys that failed them and ladies are the same people that are supposed to protect them. It's like taking your child to the same daycare, to the same babysitter that just abused them. No one in their right mind is going to do that. So evaluate that decision. You know, if Mr.
That's actually a
Hernandez
super valid
failed
point.
as well, then just replace him. Bring somebody else from the outside in and replace him with somebody else that's a little more competent, and then have them reapply. Have them see if they meet the criteria. The bar is set pretty high. That's what I have for y'all tonight. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you for answering.
Thank you, Mr. Driso. Appreciate it. Next, Mr. Let me make sure. Tracy Burke. Sorry, ma'am.
Hey, cool gamer. That was a really powerful point.
Hello. The last time I was here, I gave up my seat so that the Garcia children could speak for their voices to be heard. Um, Mr. Harold, we all lost someone that day. We lost children, brothers, sisters, cousins, best friends, and even parents. You, sir, lost 19 children. I know you care. I saw you attend my cousin Tessa's funeral. We were standing in the back because there was not an empty seat in sight. Mr. Harrell, I've come to you before with problems with my child at school, and you were the only one that looked like you really cared. I asked you to put yourself in my shoes, in our shoes as a parent. Some of our children are not ready to attend school yet. Some of us as parents are not ready to let them go back. And let's face it, I'm sure some of these teachers might not be ready either. At one of these first board meetings, you spoke about budgets and buying the children all new iPads. I'd like you to put them to use and please ask that you go virtual. So we feel at least that the schools are safe. The junior high and high school included. Those are our babies too. You have talked about hiring security, and I feel that no amount of security will ease our hearts and our minds. We saw so many cops, and all we needed was the army to be there, and nothing happened. So I feel like the school buildings need to be made safe, and we're just not seeing it yet. I'm hoping that they will get done by the time that you say they will. But until then, I hope that you give us the option to go virtual for whoever wants their children to go virtual. And if you don't plan on going virtual, just let us know ahead of time so that we as parents can make the safe choice for our children. And if we have to homeschool, then we have to homeschool. But I prefer that, a UCISD teacher teach my children instead. So please just let us know ahead of time.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Ms. Burke. Next, we have Ms. Berlinda Aviola.
Oh, brace yourself. Brace yourself. This one's going to be big. She's the one that approached the shooter's mother.
First and foremost, speaking from all the deceased families, we do not condone harsh words regarding your families. We want to say that we do not blame any of your families for your all's inactions. So let's recap. 2 months later, nothing has changed. So here we are once again, banging our heads against a brick wall, demanding answers and accountability, but getting nowhere. Because it's always something. Now you have to take a step back for due process because you failed to file a complaint. Since Pete has his rights, I guess the rest of the UCSISD officers do too. Why didn't they exercise their rights to shoot and kill that gunman on 5/24? So go ahead and give all of the other UCISD officers that were in that hallway due process now and file the complaint. So when we let them all go, it can all be done at the same time because we're not done. I hope and pray that you do not consider adding insult to injury and hiring anyone from Uvalde PD to work for Uvalde County Independent School District, especially anyone from our so-called SWAT. We're not done. And as far as security, you said you're working on it. Just remember, it's not about extra security. Over 400 officers and 77 minutes later already proved where that got us.
Yes. A freaking men.
Our main priority is to ensure that no one finds their way in there to begin with. We're not done. Mr. Jared Arthur has offered free labor. Take advantage of that and save yourself thousands of dollars. After all, we are Uvalde strong. You may not be too worried about a walkout because after all, we're just 21 families. There are hundreds of other students that cannot follow in a walkout. But it would be a shame if you let it come down to that. We're not done. I have stepped out of character a lot these past couple of months. Anger will do that to a person. Someone prayed over me a couple of days ago and I found comfort. But don't mistake my kindness for weakness because I'm still a pissed off grandma and I'm not done. No
Woohoo!
justice, no peace.
Yes. Go, Belinda,
Thank you,
go.
Belinda. Appreciate it.
Woo!
Yeah, we're not done. So, somebody once told me, don't just come with gripes and complaints if you can't come with solutions yourself. So, I have some of those and I will get to them. Have a few questions real quick. The resource officer, are resource officers designated to be in specific places?
They were designated by the chief at the time throughout the school year.
Okay, but so they are designated, like somebody was designated to Rob?
Not specifically to Rob. They may rotate through the different campuses throughout the day.
Okay, that doesn't make no damn sense, but okay. Exactly. Because, yeah, where was he in the beginning? Wasn't there. Once again, your staff failed us. Y'all still haven't told us what security measures have been implemented yet. We've waited. Y'all still haven't told us anything. But we can't expect much when y'all can't even get y'all's damn nameplates correct.
Oh my
You
God.
expect us to trust you that you will keep our kids safe when little things like that happen. I mean, this is ridiculous. And whose job was it to call all of these fine officers in? Because I see more officers here than have ever looked over at our schools. What are y'all worried about?
Wow.
Our kids are dead. What are y'all worried about?
Wow.
You haven't said anything to me. You haven't said anything to me. You haven't. You tried to, but it's always going in circles. You haven't. In fact, have y'all reached out to anybody? It has been 2 months. I'm waiting.
The last meeting we did share some of the things that we did. We shared them with you, and then tonight, that's what tonight is, to continue those processes that we have in place coming in. And once we get them approved and everything, they will be provided to you. And that's why August 8th, that's our next meeting to give you further updates. And if you're driven by Dalton, you'll see the changes that have been at Dalton. There's no longer a fence there because the new one's coming in. Stuff has been dropped off, and the work is beginning.
No.
So we did provide that last week.
He's asking you, douchebag, if you reached out to them. Sorry.
Things take time, so we're gonna continue, and that's why we want to have those community meetings with you to let you know, so that way you know exactly what we're doing, because we don't want to leave you in the dark from it.
And to answer your question, I have reached out to people.
To me?
Not to you, sir, but to other families.
Has he reached out to any of y'all? Okay, so what the hell? It's all good. All right, nextly, what qualifications must an SRO possess to be chosen for the job? because it's not bravery, obviously, but I'm going to let y'all speak. What qualifications are there?
There's several
Completely
qualifications, the main
unacceptable.
one being
Patronizing.
peace officer
Exactly,
license.
Punkette.
That's all you
Completely
gotta do.
redirected the question.
Okay. And you
Sorry,
said that
y'all, I'm
you
hot
were gonna
mad.
add more officers, correct?
Correct.
Are these people trained by the same people that trained the previous ones? Because obviously that doesn't work either.
Through the application
Exactly,
process, we
peaceful.
are vetting all those.
Why not? Again, why not just say, you know what, you're right,
Have
I'm
y'all-
apologize, I
actually,
didn't
let me
reach
back up.
out.
You still didn't answer. What do y'all need all of these people for? What are y'all scared of? Okay, let me ask this because I mean that was a simple question that y'all can't seem to answer. Who ordered them to be here?
Through our Department for Security.
Thanks, Jameson. Just do the best you can. I completely understand. Seriously.
Nice.
Thank you for showing support, but definitely
Once
know
again,
your
show that y'all
limits.
care more about your
Completely
damn selves than
understand.
you do for our children. Two more things and I'll let y'all be done. Why have y'all still not taken accountability for y'all's mess ups? Can
Oh,
any one of y'all look me dead in the eyes and say, look, we messed up?
I'll answer that for you, sir. I'll answer it for you, sir. We weren't the only ones that messed up, but I will take ours that we messed up as well. We did.
That's kind of backhanded, but okay.
But I'll man up to it and tell you, yes, sir.
But you're saying that y'all messed up?
We all did. Everybody did.
No, not asking for that. I'm asking you. The school
Everybody-
district messed up.
Everybody messed up. Yes, sir.
Jameson, I know. I'm like, what?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, have y'all looked into the
I know,
same
Amber Riot.
protections and protocols as seen when you search the America's Safest School?
Not too late, Remy. This is
What
some
was that again? Can you repeat
powerful,
it again, sir?
I
powerful.
said, have y'all looked into the same protection and protocols as seen when you search America's Safest School?
No, I have not.
I suggest that that is something that y'all look into. It's going to be extremely expensive, but our children are worth it.
Absolutely, they are.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. We'll definitely look into it, sir. Thank you.
This is Texas
you.
Yes, sir.
school board. You guys are supposed to start school in like 2 weeks. This is insane.
Next, we have Mr. Rosenberg Risa.
Yep, exactly, Jameson. Constantly.
I'm going to yield my time to Uvalde Board.
Okay.
Good evening, school board members, family members here, supporters, school staff, Diana Olvedo Carew. Once again before you as we continue to fight for accountability and justice for the 19 children and 2 teachers that were killed on May 24th. As some others that have come before you this evening have stated, the school district, and specifically based on this report from the special committee,
Oh, okay, Remy.
indicates
They gave him such a.
clearly that the onus for the failure of May 24th is on the shoulders of the UCISD School District Administration. That would be our superintendent and by default, his senior staff.
Mm,
People that are highly educated professionals who
exactly,
obviously
Jameson. Exactly.
were hired because they should have had a skill set that was able to properly manage the work of this district. Dr. Harrell, of course, is the top of the food chain for the district, but the 7, I believe, senior staff members who work with him also have responsibility for having made sure that every staff member of this district, that every campus of this district, that everything about this district was secure and safe for the children that parents send
You
to
got it, Remy.
every day during the school year, and you failed. You failed. The things that were wrong that facilitated the ability of that individual who didn't break into that school, walked into that school on May 24th and killed 19 children and 2 teachers was facilitated by all of the things that were not done by the employees of this school district. I would only imagine that that happened because there was no oversight. Administration was not doing their job. If you had been doing your job, none of those things that were cited in this report would have been told, would have been listed, would have been an indictment against the senior administrative staff of this district. This school board, the members of this school board that were elected by the people of this school district, those eligible to vote for you, you have a responsibility to those constituents to do your job and take action and hold accountable the senior staff of this district. We keep talking about Pira Redondo. We keep talking about the 4 other officers that are still on staff for the police department. Those are the small fish in the pond. Those are the people that have no control over the bigger picture of this district. This
I
report
kind of
tells us
disagree with that
was
part.
the fault of the administration of this district. And it's hard for us, I know it's hard for me to say that you need to fire these individuals, but realistically, that would be a very good start. This district needs to clean house. The issues that brought us to May 24th are deeply rooted, long-standing, and we need change. We are asking you, the school board members, to do your jobs because this community is prepared to replace you with people that will. Thank you.
I
Thank
do
you, ma'am.
know the principal is on administrative leave.
We got about a couple more left, so we'll get them through. We have Miss Silvia Uriegas.
Exactly, Remy.
I don't know what really well, I know what compelled me to come here. I had been kind of not really wanting to be up here. On May 24th, I'm actually a school bus driver for the school district, and we were asked to go pick up kids at Rob.
It's a school
not
bus
knowing
driver.
what would transpire, and then all of a sudden I'm here transporting wounded kids to the ER. Then I go back, get another bus, and go back to Rob. I guess my concern was that we were not told what to expect because they knew at 10 till 12 what we were going to. And all the buses got stuck, the chaos, the misinformation, miscommunication. And I just don't know why the bus drivers are not included in the trainings of active shooters. Or where's the safety zone? Where do we pick up kids? If Rob, Dalton, where? Even the new hospital. Most of us weren't aware where the emergency room is at.
Oh my gosh.
I think we need more information and more training and include the bus drivers as well because,
Yes.
what if something happened on a bus? We don't know. Kids carry guns or knives or whatever. And I think we need more training because we do carry a lot of kids, 30, 40, 50 kids sometimes. So I'm here to ask to include us in those trainings as well. Thank you.
I had no
Thank you, Ms.
idea
Villegas. Completely agree, ma'am.
bus drivers were doing that. Oh my gosh.
Next, what we have Miss Deyanira Salazar.
This is Layla's grandmother, I believe. Or mother, related somehow to Layla.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Okay, thank you. My name is Deyanira Salazar, and I've attended every school here in Uvalde. I was born in Mexico, Villa Unión, Coahuila, Mexico. And we came here when I was a mere 6 years old. I believe I was 6 or 7. But I attended Dalton, first grade, second grade, Anthon, and third also. And then Rob, fourth and fifth, Benson, sixth, middle school, which is now Flores, seventh, and junior high, which is now Morales, eighth. And then we were the first class to attend ninth grade at the Uvalde High School. And so I attended 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th at the Uvalde High School. And that is one of the reasons that I am so attached to the district. And that is one of the reasons that I support the district greatly, because I know just from experience that you cannot get very far in this life without an education at all. I'm speaking to everybody. Everybody. Thank you. And so I am very invested in the district because it is our children that attend the district. The district serves a majority of our Uvalde children. And so what I want to say is I want you to have a good background, because I do not want you I do not want you to misunderstand what I am saying. And
Uh-oh.
and I know that when we are completely involved in grief and we are
What
mad
is happening?
and we are angry, like that one lady said, we can say things, we can do things
Uh-oh.
that are completely out of character. And that's a quote. That's what she said. Completely out of
I'm
character.
wondering if she's related to
And
the shooter.
so, without further ado, I have a letter that I wrote in December.
So,
I sent it to the district because I wanted the district to know
what is
about
happening?
this letter. And then at the last meeting, Mr. Luis, the man that was here, I believe, said that he had not received your email. And I was sitting over there thinking to myself, maybe they didn't receive my email. So today, I decided to print the letter and to read it to you, because it is very important to me that they all hear it. I want every board member to know what happened to me, so that you can be more informed and you can make more informed decisions for us.
Okay, so I think they were yelling, "Do your job."
Here goes the letter.
Oh boy.
On Thursday, December 16th, 2021, I had the most unfortunate meeting with Mr. Michael Rodriguez, the Deputy Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. He asked his secretary to call me and make an appointment to speak to me. And so the appointment was set for 1 p.m. on Thursday. I wrote thorough notes on Saturday, the 18th, and Sunday, the 19th, in the wee hours of the morning, so that I would not forget any details. So I will here be describing much of what I wrote and what occurred on Thursday. And I will again say that it was Thursday, December 16th, 2021. I attended a training for math coaches this summer, and that was 2021. called the MQI, Mathematical Quality of Instruction Institute. And that is what I'm referring to when I say MQI. I am
Got 1 minute,
still-
ma'am.
Do you want me to stop?
In the interest of the people, yes,
Okay.
ma'am, please.
I want to give you a
I'll
copy.
take it. I'll take it from you. Don't worry.
Okay. I want to give you a copy, and please share it. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Ms. Salazar. Our last one is Maricela Sanchez, if she's still here. Yes, there she is.
Thank you for giving me a chance to speak today. I haven't been able to make it to the other meetings because I work,
Yes, ma'am.
but I have time now.
Okay.
So I want to know, are you going to allow volunteers for this coming school year? Parent volunteers?
Yes, we do have a mechanism for parent volunteers, for parents to sign up and go through the volunteer training. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to lie, Mr. Harrell, I'm not always at the school, but I really do want to get more involved just because, all this happened and
Mhm.
I'm still a little shaken. I'm not going to lie. My kids are a little scared and I think they just feel better with me or at least around for a little bit. But I want to know, am I only volunteering for one campus or could I volunteer for all the campuses?
When you sign up, you'll make that request.
Okay, because I have kids in different campuses as well. And I'm not here to bash anybody or anything like that. I just want to know, taking it now, talking about next year, I have a daughter that ran into a little bully at school. He's a male. I know I've always told her, see something, say something. Because I didn't grow up like that. I grew up snitches get stitches. And I don't want that for her. I want her to be able to be herself because she's nothing like me. She's a whole totally different person. And I just want to know, she's talked to the counselor several times. She's talked to the principal. And it's always like he has issues at home, so forth. So I want to know, is DAEP still going to be an option for kids that act out at school?
Yes, we'll continue to run a DAP.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
because I do need to get with somebody to speak about what happened. I don't want her to go back to school scared. I want her grades were affected toward, you can tell when she gets bullied, her grades go down. And I can't stand it. I'm a straight A's or nothing. So I just want her to get back to where she was at. So yeah, I guess I'll just reach out a little bit more. I'll be here at other meetings. And like I said, I can volunteer. I actually quit my job so I could have time to volunteer. All right? Thank you.
Appreciate that, ma'am. Thank you so much, Ms. Sanchez. I'm, yeah, go ahead. Come on.
Board an opportunity to talk as well. So I'll direct it to each one of y'all since y'all haven't been very engaged. So I asked Mr. Cal Lambert, what's the height of the fences going to be around the schools?
I'm sorry, I
The
can't.
height of the fences,
Not tall enough, I can tell you that much, in
No,
my
but-
opinion.
the ones that are going to be installed.
I have no idea.
Oh, great.
I
Okay.
can't answer that question.
No idea. Okay. So are you part of do y'all make decisions together or who makes the decisions here?
The decisions initially are made at central office by the staff over there,
Okay.
Mr. Harrell's staff, as
So
far
we're-
as
So are we
that
talking
kinda
to the
stuff.
wrong people when we ask like these types of questions like security? Do we need to talk to Mr. Miller or who should our questions be directed to?
yes.
Yes? Okay. Mrs. White, who's going to be in charge of Benson?
That right now is, we're not sure, but Dr. Harrell, at some point, there's a time when they come, and it's usually in the summer when we have these regular meetings, and they come and say, this is who is going to be principal here, this is who's going to be principal there. We, as a board, are in charge of policy and the budget.
Okay, because I reached out to the principal of Rob to ask some questions, but I left a voicemail and didn't get an answer. So I'm just not sure who to contact right now if I have
I would
questions.
call central office and they will direct you to somebody. Anytime you have a question about the schools in general, like leadership or whatnot, and you don't get an answer back, then you would call central office.
In the past, I don't know if we still follow that policy, but I remember that if they call the teacher or the principal, they have 24 hours.
That,
Then
that's,
you need to central office.
okay, Mr. Flores, we did file some grievances against Dr. Harrell. Are you investigating that?
On that one, and actually, I was gonna ask the board president because from the day you turn it in, we have 10 days to act on it.
So are you doing anything about it right now?
Yeah, right now, I can. I think we're looking into it. and
You
that's-
think if it's no, it's no. It's okay. You haven't done anything yet.
No, not yet.
Okay,
because
thank you.
it's not on the agenda.
I understand that. I'm just asking because it's been 6 days. I know you have 10 days, but I haven't had any calls back. So I'm just asking if you're not investigating it. I'm wondering if it's one person that's in charge that everybody might be intimidated of. But okay. Mrs. Perez, will we have designated officers at each campus?
To my understanding, that's going to happen. That's with hiring the 10 extra police officers. They'll be stationed at campuses.
Okay. Mr. Fernandez, are we going to have bulletproof windows?
That is the plan, yes, sir. We're looking into our company to find ways to put ballistic films on our windows to make them as safe as possible. Yes, sir.
Will this be before school starts?
Yes, sir. That is the plan.
Thank you. Mr. Harrell, will there be metal detectors at each school?
We are looking at bringing in metal detectors and secure vegetables.
Would that be
Yes, sir.
before school starts?
That is our goal. Yes, sir.
Mr. Fowler, will there be one point of entry at all the schools?
The one point of entry is our goal, similar to what we do here at Uvalde High School, is to take those people in on a one-by-one basis at the entry spot.
Are we set up to do that before the school starts?
That is our goal, Mr. Adam.
Thank you. I had one more question, but I'm not gonna say it right now. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Okay, thank you very much. That concludes our open forum section, item number 2. We're going to move on to item number 3, consent agenda. 3A, minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees held on May 16, 2022. B, minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees held on June 20, 2022. C, item of information regarding maintenance and operations. D, item of information regarding transportation. E, item of information regarding SFE. F, item of information on the district's investment activity for June 20.
Okay, then. So that was all the open forum they're allowing tonight. They said August 7th, they were going to have another one where they were going to allow, I know. Right, Remy, where they're going to allow everybody to show up. They said that they weren't allowing that this time because last time got out of hand. And that they needed to focus on things that they haven't discussed about calendars and things like that. I don't know. But I don't know who, if that was Anita, must be Anita's the grandmother of Layla. I'm not sure who she was, but all I know is that when she came up there, the place erupted and they had to, Rebellious, you're awesome. They had to stop her reading the letter and give the letter to the board. Now, let me tell you what I was referring to. So I thought it might have been Natalie. Natalie's the aunt of the shooter and the sister of the shooter's mother. And 5 days ago, this is what she wrote after Belinda, who we heard speak, approached the shooter's mother. She wrote, "Don't come at me any which way, all of you on Facebook and TikTok, saying for my sister not to cross your paths because you would beat her blank are wrong in many ways. Delete me. I don't care. What makes you innocent in anything? Are you free of sin? Any sin? No, you're not. Go ahead. Keep making a ridicule of Uvalde and 21 victims. This is how you bring honor to them." And she goes on about, she says, Dora Mendoza, who is another one that approached her, "You should be the one to talk about parenting. Both you and Berlinda have pasts." She just goes on to say, like, all the reasons that basically they shouldn't come at her. But so I don't know who Anita was. Remy said it was a grandmother, so, but I don't know what was in the letter. Whatever it was, that caused everybody to leave. And oh, maybe Katie, you might be right. You might be right. I bet you might be right, Katie. Yeah, that might be what it was. But I did think there was some really powerful things read. Yeah, Katie, I think you might be right. So one thing that was very concerning is that there's the continued, okay, Remy, Katie, you might be onto something. The continued deflection of any type of accountability. The guy said, "Tell me you failed." Well, we weren't the only ones that failed, but okay. Each board meeting I've watched, they've said, "What are you going to do about this? We're looking into it." Well, dude, it's the end of July. You might want to look soon. One of the fathers, "Did you reach out to me?" Well, no, I didn't, but I reached out to him. Like, just say, "You know what? I'm sorry I didn't reach out to you. I should have reached out to you," or "I'm really sorry we messed up." Like, my kids do that crap when they mess up and they'll say, well, blame it on their brother, or blame it on their sister, and say, well, she did this. No, no, that's not okay. That's not okay. That's not how you make an apology. That's not how you say, yes, we messed up. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. Um, and I have yet to hear any of the school district take accountability or say that they have a solution in place. I just, it's maddening. It's a disgrace. Um, in case you didn't hear, though, the elementary principal for Robb Elementary was placed on administrative year. You know what, Remy? I don't think that they offered an apology there. I'll have to go back and watch it, but I'm almost positive they said that they weren't the only ones that messed up. They said that twice. But yes, they messed up. But I don't think they ever said they were sorry. It's okay, Brandy. That's a good question, Remy. I don't think they have. Hey, unpopular opinion. Wow. So the elementary principal is on leave, which she should have. I mean, look, whether or not, if that room was locked, if it would have saved people, I, well, probably. But she was told multiple times by Mr. Reyes that the door was not working, and she failed to submit a work order for it to be fixed. From March, they said around spring break, he told them. So from March until May 24th, multiple times, Mr. Reyes said, my door is not working. I'm going to get in trouble. My door is not working. And in that whole time, she never issued a work order. So yeah, she's guilty. So now I have a better understanding, too, of what happened with Pete and why all of a sudden his lawyer had any ground to say that they had to wait to fire him was because, and they could only put him on administrative of unpaid leave, because the school, yet again, did not do things right and they failed to issue a complaint first before they put it on the agenda, on a special agenda to fire him. And so Pete's lawyer obviously said they can't do that. So he called, and this is what happened. So this is why Berlinda said you need to put a complaint in now for the other officers so that when it comes time here, we can wipe them all clean. So that's why Pete still had a job. And I'm not sure if you caught Remy when he said he had asked somebody who knows Pete of why Pete is staying and why he will not just quit. And they said it's probably pension related. Exactly, Remy. Exactly. And you mean that no one on the school board asked their lawyer? We know the lawyers work in the cities. No one on this, I mean, no one on the school board thought to ask their lawyer, hey, what's the right process to get rid of this guy so that we don't screw up and have this situation? Oh, it was said that someone, okay. So Remy saw that it said somebody, yeah. Yeah. I just know that there's been about 3 or 4 board meetings of which parents have come and pleaded for answers, and every single one that I've asked or that have asked questions, they've been deflected, redirected, or have said, "We're looking into it." I literally just said to Amory's dad that tonight's a big board meeting. Let's hope for some, progress. And he said, I hope so. And that's what they get. That's what they get. That's the progress they get. I heard no solutions. I heard we're going to meet again to discuss it on August 7th. Okay. 100% muffin top. Oh, Remy. Okay. So he has to quit to forfeit his pension. Gotcha. Yeah. It's heartbreaking. So they screwed up again with Pete. Because you know what's going to happen if they mess up and Pete's lawyer catches any part of them messing up? Yeah, he'll win a giant lawsuit. So the principal's on paid. Obviously, I believe she's on paid administrative leave because if she was on unpaid, we would have heard unpaid, just like we eventually heard unpaid for Pete. But, and I know that the man that acted as the chief of Uvalde that day, Officer Pargas or whatever his name is, I know that he's on administrative leave. I don't know if it's unpaid for him or not, but regardless of the situation, this has been again yet an extremely disturbing board meeting of no accountability. Or an apology. Disappointing, to say the least, yet again. But and then when they said, well, how high is the fence going to be? The superintendent said, not high enough. And they said, no, not the one that there was. Obviously, the one that was there wasn't high enough, dude. But the one that there's going to be. And they said they're looking into it. Oh, Amber, yes, you are spot on. You are spot on. 100%. Could not agree more. Morally, horrible, 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 horrible. Legally, very smart. And the fact, like, oh my gosh, like, does Uvalde City District School not have a lawyer? I mean, I guess wouldn't they have looked into any of this about how to legally handle getting rid of people? Did they really think these parents were going to be silenced? The only thing I can think of is that they thought the families would be so grieving so much that they would just forget it or something, because I can't understand how they've messed so many things up, down to messing up how to fire somebody. I Yes, Remy, every freaking board meeting, these parents are having to show up and say, "What are you going to do to help? What are you going to do to change the situation?" Exactly what this grandfather said. There's tons of cops there now protecting them. What do they care about? It's their kid. Oh, yeah, Brandy. And it actually infuriates me that Pete Arredondo, I can't say it like they say it, is sitting back. I mean, yeah, true, Amber. I will say that there was a lawyer in so the girl that the lady who ended up just being found dead in in San Antonio in the mall parking lot, she was a paralegal for a lawyer, a huge law firm that works with several cities, who weighed in on the Uvalde situation, but I don't think is Uvalde lawyer, was like basically saying they better get legal assistance. I do not think they offered to be their lawyer though. I don't think anyone wants that. Yeah, so the council postponed whether to fire him because Pete's lawyer was like, "Well, you didn't file a complaint and that's due process." So then they had to put him on unpaid leave. And I'm just like, I mean, you just think, I know that I'm sure that they're, I don't know, flustered, but that would have been the first thing you do, is look at, okay, how do we properly, because their big excuse before for not letting Arredondo or whatever go was the fact that they had to follow certain processes. So then they screwed up the process. I know, Remy. And so all the parents were waiting for this meeting that was going to happen on Saturday, and that they thought that was going to be it and he was going to be gone. And that was at least going to feel like a start for them. And then they had to cancel that and put him on unpaid because Pete's lawyer got involved and said, "You can't do that." Did you guys hear they said, okay, where was the resource officer? Why wasn't the resource officer on campus? Because no one said why he wasn't on campus that I've heard of, and they didn't answer that question. So it's just maddening for these families, and I just can't, I can't understand it. Really, Remy, wow. Right. And if I remember correctly, I read an article in the very beginning that said something like lawsuits wouldn't take because they weren't they aren't what was the word? They aren't like they don't have to protect, like that's like not something about really weird, like they aren't, something that just made me go, like somehow it's worded that they don't have to protect them or enable to keep them safe or something really weird, and I was like, "What?" Wow, Remy. Yeah, that's probably what I think happened, Brandy, but oh my gosh, Rebellious, that's awful. But well, hey, look, guys, I just wanted to share that because when I watch it in the other chats, I get mad because there's a lot of trolls that come in and say really stupid things, and it just makes me frustrated. So, um, I'm trying to keep the Uvalde stuff here on my channel, and I wanted to make sure I streamed that, and I'm glad I did because it does at least give us insight of what's happening on those board meetings. Okay, I'll look that up, Amber. Thank you. Thank you. I will definitely look that up actually here in a minute. But yeah, I am, and I just finally set up my membership, so that'll be reviewed soon. But all right, you guys. Well, you have an awesome day, and I'll keep you posted about Amory's dad. I'm kind of just letting him do it in his time and stuff. I've been talking to him, and he has good moments and bad moments. So when he's ready to share, he'll share. So I will talk to you guys. Scoon. Thanks, Remy. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.